Alright, looks like things are finally smoothed out. There we go. Finally. Smoothness. Haha. That was a pain in the butt, guys. I tell you what. I haven't streamed in, I think my last one was in 2020, 2021. I was just dumb thinking my entire system was going to be turnkey. Quite a few updates needed to be made. Let me get this chat going here. Oh, I can read what you guys are saying, what you guys got going. All right. Our chat box. We'll drop this right in that chat box. Okay. Sweet. Let's test this out. Fire it. Hello, everybody. Sorry for the hiccups. We're rocking now. Yep, pop right on up. Sweet. All right, can you guys hear me? Is it smooth finally? Let me double check this. See if you guys can see my Pro Tools screen real quick. Pop this on over. Let me know if you guys can see Pro Tools. It's finally smooth. Goodness, yes. All right, we'll pop on back. Sweet. Let me share this real quick where it's got to go. Hit the live. Sick. There we go. We finally got the kinks worked out. Sorry for the tech hiccups. We're live. Paste that son of a gun. Post that in the appropriate channels. Just kind of hanging out until we get a couple people in here real quick. Yep. Chilling. Gonna make a snare sample. Just hanging out. Got some downtime. Very rare opportunity. I think I'm trying to figure out like kind of how to process it. We've got a snare top, snare bottom. Got an overhead track. Got a ride track that we're not going to need at all in this. We'll just ditch that real quick. That can go. Let's check some stuff out here. Switch back over to the Pro Tools screen. Make sure that's rocking. All right. Shout out to Cage Willis. His Overworked and Underpaid single came out today. That was pretty awesome. Pleasure to get to work on that one. Cage is a heck of an artist, and Chris is a heck of a producer. Those guys make an awesome team together. Make some really cool music together. Yeah, just chilling. Gonna take a snare that me and Mark recorded last week and run through some analog gear here. I'll take you guys along for the ride for the process. I can't even, honestly, I couldn't even tell you what snare this is. This is unlabeled mystery snare. Just whatever Mark had, we just tossed it up and smacked it while we had our drum mics all set up the way that we had them for a different session. A little setup in here. Oh, almost forgot. I gotta close my wall. I didn't close my wall. Oh no! The sonics are off. Rerun all the room correction. It's all screwed up. There's no point. Alright. So, is everything running smooth? Audio coming through. Camera finally smooth. I'm gonna crack a snare. Let me know if you can hear the snare. I need to put this Mutimatic plugin on. Yeah, pop on Mutimatic here. That way, whenever I click play, it automatically mutes my vocal. Pop. Double check level. Oh yeah, that's coming in hot. Pro Tools coming in hot for you guys. There we go. We'll level that out real quick. Give that a good 3 dB. Oh gosh. There we go. I'll turn my speakers down here. There we go. That's a pretty cool plugin though. That's like Oop, I gotta make that active. We should be back. We're rocking. Making sure I got snare drums. Making sure my Mutamatic's still rocking. Heck yeah, we're rocking. Oh, I ain't trying to open no AI on my phone. Sorry guys, I just got this new like iPhone 16. I am not hip to this thing at all. Not hip to this thing at all. All right. Oh gosh. My technology, guys, like I'm so left behind. It's the first time in my life I've ever felt old. Ain't no fun. Ain't trying to like post no reels on Facebook. No. Just a plain post. Alright, just making sure everybody can hear me. Everything's all good. Stream's still stable. These are flams, I think. No, those are just regular snare hits. And I keep on thinking this like Apple Intelligence button or whatever this new side button is the volume up button. It keeps on screwing with me. Yeah, it keeps on messing with me hard. Switch back over to the working cam. Make sure all this is working for you guys. Waiting for some people to get in here. That way we'll start processing a snare with some outboard gear. Got a whole bunch of options to choose from. Got a API 2500. We can compress it. I've got the Clariphonic for some air. We've got of course the 1073. We could get some air into it like that. We could overdrive it and maybe saturate it a little bit. I've got the PEX 500 like Poor Man's Pultec. I've got the SSL EQs. Got a bunch of options. But we're gonna do the top bottom. We're gonna process the overheads. We got 2 sets of rooms. We've got a mono crush. I don't know if I'm gonna incorporate the mono crush on this one or not. We'll figure that out. Sorry guys. Just making sure I've got that chat pulled up. No, I hate how like Instagram automatically shares to Facebook. That's a thing. Let's make sure this gets posted. Go. We're live. Bambalama. Hell, make sure I'm live. Shoot. With the live chat. Not hanging out. Don't really know what I'm going to use to process this snare with yet. Not a clue. Rocking this. I think this is a V7X. Yeah, V7X as a vocal mic here. I forgot I even had these with me. The entire time I was like trying to wire up a lav mic, and I was freaking out because I'm like, I don't have a way to wire in a lav mic into my computer. I make like a little USB thing you can plug in that's like a headphone / lav mic in, and I have one of those, and I haven't used that thing since my last stream. I've moved 4 or 5 times since that, so God only knows where that thing's new home is now. And then I realized, I'm like, oh yeah, I have an SE mic pack, and there's a V7X snare mic, so we'll try that. And then if that just ends up, or if this thing just ends up sounding like crap, which I doubt it will, I've got the kick mic, so I figure we can try that as like a broadcast mic option, see how that sounds. I don't know. It's an unscripted stream. We could have some fun. We could land in some weird spots. You never know. It's turning into like Geordie After Dark. I mean, it's 8:20 here, 7:20 Central. So yeah, we're after hours. Everyone's off the clock. We're having fun. We're making samples. We're crushing snares. I have this, I'm using that EOS Canon app with my EOS R, and this thing is on like a ridiculously long USB-C cable, so that's how I'm using it as a camera, and it's hooked up to like a little set of legs. That way I can, if we end up tweaking with any of this outboard, I'll be able to flip the camera around and kind of show you guys settings and what I've got going on it. Let's see, just double checking some settings. Taylor, my phone's almost dead. What up? What up, Taylor? How you doing, buddy? Just hanging out, man. Getting ready to process some drum samples, or not really process some drum samples, but take a drum we recorded and turn it into some samples. So, give you a little teaser here, a little ringage, little flammage, little softer hits, harder hits, little room sound. Yeah, just hanging. Gonna take these take the snare sound here and run it through some outboard gear, turn it into a sample. May give it away to people at the end. We'll find out. Probably what I'm gonna do. We'll probably process the sample maybe 1-2 different ways, and then we'll end up. I'll post this on my website for free. That way, anybody who wants it as like a waveform or as a TCI file can have it. Dude, heck yeah, PSM 300, 100 locally. Let it happen. Heck yeah, dude. That's a good score. Especially for some wireless. Wireless for $100? Hell yeah. I guess I should watch my language. I don't know if YouTube's going to flag that or not. I don't know anything about YouTube standards. It's all a learning experience. We'll get banned and trip and fall on our faces as we go. It's half the fun. But yeah, a little background about the setup. It's a mystery snare. Can't even remember what we recorded. Bunch of gear brought in from like 3 different recording studios, or 1, 2, 4 people's gear, all come in. Snare top was 1073. Snare bottom was the Black Lion Audio clone of a 1073. So still 1073 vibes. Rooms were super boutique. That was a La Chapelle vacuum tube preamp. That thing was it's either a 992 or a 922. Thing's ridiculous though. It's got like 6 tubes per channel, like 3 transformers. It's insane. That thing was going into a Tube Tech CL2B compressor, stereo compressor, rocking. And then, yeah. And then, dude, peace, brother. Thanks for stopping by. And then the brick mics, those are mic techs, something that the drummer originally brought in, and we ended up setting them up. I have like a little technique I do where I carry these bricks with me all over town and to every recording session. Same exact 2 bricks on every drum session. And I'll just pick a spot in the room, set up the bricks, and I'll put a microphone about an inch off the bricks. So that's like my quote-unquote mobile drum room. So no matter what environment I'm in, I've got a brick drum room. That's kind of what these are. The bricks. Turn these up. And the bricks, those were going through Black Lion Audio, the API clones, the API 3124 clones. Those things are sick. Like, wish I could afford a whole like 500 series rack full of actual 312s, but until then, thank goodness for Black Lion Audio. So yeah, it was either that or the 73s, and we went with the Black Lions because remember the assistant said that he thought they might be a little bit more punchy, a little less slew than the 73s have. So yeah. Mic techs facing some bricks. Or yeah, a couple mic techs facing some bricks, one on each side of the room. Oh gosh. Yeah, okay, it's still rocking. And those are being fed into Empirical Labs, the Fatso, or Fatso Jr., just set to stun. Because, you know, when you absolutely stun a set of room mics, it just makes it sound a lot more fun. So yeah, the actual FAR rooms were Warm Audio U87s. They're clones. Like I say, going into La Chapelle's, into Tube Techs. And those were way up in the room. Like way up, like literally facing the corner. So it was like, if this was like the ceiling right here, it was like bloop, up in the corner, one on each side of the room. And those are getting crushed pretty hard by the Tube Techs, which way more transparent than I thought. Like I was crushing them pretty hard trying to distort them and get them all splatty and goopy. And it just kind of never happened. And we tried other compressors, and then we realized like the sound of the Tube Tech was so warm and just lustrous that we just left it through it anyway. Yeah, lots of impact though. Lots of impact, but it's all clean. And I'm driving that preamp to like stun. That thing is just redlined to redline, and then just back the input down to like it had like a 1 to like 10. I think the output was set to like 1, and the output was probably set to like 10. Just crushing it. But that with the bricks together, it's a cool sound. The Mono Crush, I completely forgot what this sounds like. Mono Crush was a U87 that I had set like 3-4 feet behind the drummer at about the same height as his throne, and it was set to Omni. But the capsule, instead of like the capsule facing the drummer, I put it so it was facing either way. Still set to Omni, but that way like the direct SPL wasn't just smashing the capsule. And that was going through, I believe, a 610 LA610 preamp. Oh, we gotta turn it up. Yeah, just smacked. That's hitting that optical compressor side pretty hard. Overheads were vintage U87s. They wasn't not the ones with the like the screw-in bottoms, but they were like they were the ones that had the battery packs in them. So it was like one of the first ones to actually have a set of XLRs, but not the 87AI. I think it's just called the 87i, U87i. But a set of those. Check these guys out. That was just a set of SSL VHD preamps. Snare top. I said it was a I don't know what it was. That's the label from something else. But it was a 441 going into Neve 1073 SPX with some EQ on the way in. That was hitting an API 2500, and that was going into the PEX 500 right here. So there was a lot of analog baked in on that snare top. So let's check that out. Really fat, but driving that 1073 really hard kind of rounded out the tip just a little tiny bit. Listen to just the overheads with the rooms real quick. All the rooms. Oh yeah. You hear something happening on the left side there in the room. Is it in the overheads? Let's find out. No, it's probably the bricks. It was the bricks. Those are asymmetrical anyway, so that's fine. I just had like a big old table like right in the middle of the room, so I just stuck it out there, filled it up with a bunch of shit, put the bricks on either side. That way, the left side of the kit would go into the left brick mic, and the right side of the kit would like kind of just go into the right brick mic, and it worked out pretty good. Like in the actual drum recordings, there's full separation in the bricks. Like it's hi-hats over here, ride 4 toms over there. It's pretty solid. Sick. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to do with the snares. If you guys want to, where should we start? Should we run them through the 1073? Should we run them through the SSL? Should we? What piece of gear should go where? Let me ask you guys that. So we've got three stereo tracks. 1, 2. Yeah, we got some options. We've got some options. We can process some gear. We can process it pretty fun. Let's pop it back on over here. So get into the goods, man. Start processing. Start doing some processing. Make the drums happen. Whoa. I screwed that all up. Oh, I didn't know you could jack up the whole aspect ratio of your video in OBS. Whoops. Oh, that's interesting. That's fun. Okay. There we go. Don't know how that happened. Anyway. There we go. I'm not like just a little squished flat person now. This is the camera. This is like the shot I've got for whenever we start handling the outboard gear. We'll go ahead and I'll move my camera around and we'll do that. I'm just checking some stuff out. All right. Yeah, big congratulations to Cage on his release today. Overworked and underpaid. That was one of those songs, man, that thing came together and just like that. Like I was like setting up the Pro Tools session for the day, and then I turned around after the Pro Tools session was set up, and it was like, hey, we got a song. I was like, oh, geez, that was fast. Yep. Just kind of hanging, waiting to get some people in the lobby, and we'll start processing some signals. Sorry guys, my neck had to crack there. It wasn't cracking. But yeah, to everybody that's in here, I'm gonna give you guys all a special discount code to my website at the end of this video, and you'll be able to get this snare sample for free. But yeah, just hanging, processing, making some snares live. I just can't say processing for some reason right now. It's just eluding me. I guess I'll start playing around a little bit. Let's see. I'm not going to be using these kick channels. I'm not going to use the toms. Not going to need those two. And that crush is not in here. So I'll just hide all you and make you inactive. Oop, I got to go back to my working angle here. There we go. See, I just got rid of the tracks that I wasn't using. Got a snare top. Let's get rid of all this junk. Snare bottom. Overheads, runes, the bricks. And I'll call this mono crush. Boom. And we've got a bunch of stuff here. These are all, I believe, just phase flips. So we'll go ahead and bake that in real quick. That way we don't gotta worry about that. Yeah, that's phase flips. We can audio suite that with invert. I'll go ahead and just. There's a clip by clip. Yeah, let's do a clip by clip. Where is it at? Now, individual files, entire selection, clip by clip. Snare bottom needs to be flipped. We'll go ahead and flip that. Bloop. Oh dang! I should have done the overheads while I was working on a snare. Yeah, overheads. Oh my gosh! What am I doing to myself? Get a Kensington, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Oh, there it goes again, going nuts. All right, overheads. Those have been inverted. We'll invert those, and we'll go ahead and invert our bricks. And then we can just ditch these plugins. We don't need them anymore. No insert. Oh no! I just got rid of my talkback processing. Oh well, it happens. It happens. It'll be okay though. So we flipped the phase, got rid of our phase plugins. Don't need those guys anymore. Let's start with the hard hits. Or should we start with the medium hard hits? Hard hits. Snare top. Let's pick an EQ. SSL or Neve. SSL or Neve. Let's do SSL. Because I know we tracked it with a Neve on the way in. So we'll just go ahead and do SSL on the way out. We'll pop one in there. SSL1. There we go. And should we put the second SSL on the snare bottom or on the mono crush? Thinking, let's just do the direct mics, both SSL for now, because we can always print these and then come back and use the processing somewhere else. Let's get us a rockin' snare top sound. I mean, this was already tracked with a lot of love on the way in. Like I said, it was 1073 SPX with EQ, with an API 2500 compressor on one side, going into solid state Pultec. So there's a lot going on. Let's solo this out. There we go. Put us on a loop here, and we'll start dialing in the 611 over here. So here we go. Switch my camera over here real fast. Nope, we're nice and close. There we go. I'll move this guy to there. We'll just put it on a loop and start dialing in some EQ. There we go. Open up the top end of it a little bit. Sorry guys, you're gonna have to bear with me on these camera transitions. So that's got the SSL on that now. Here we go. We'll rock. We'll go ahead and do snare bottom real quick. There we go. Oh, you guys can hear me a little bit. I'm just gonna suck out all that boxiness. You're gonna actually boost a lot of the fundamental. Get rid of that cardboard tissue paper sound. I don't even know what the numbers are. I'm just using my ears. And open up the top. We'll go ahead and bring the snare top real fast. Listen to these. Alright, that's with the EQ. Without the EQ. Not a humongous difference, but enough to just kind of shape it out a little bit. Get rid of that tissue paper. Get a little bit more body. I'll go ahead and pull these room sources down. Make a little rooms group real quick. Get a balance. I'm gonna bypass these EQs here before and after. Like I said, it didn't need a whole lot. There's already a lot of love going on the way into that one. Let me see. Sorry, fellas. Get rid of all that rumble. There we go. Boom. Get my basic little vocal EQ going again here. All right, there we go. That should be snare top through the SSLs. Oh, you can really hear it there. It don't need much. Let's listen to this mono crush. Put that on a loop real quick. Let's hit that with the 1073. 1073 SPX. There we go. We'll rock that. Go ahead and turn you guys around real quick. That way you can see the 1073. Boom. There it is. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and dial in this mono crush real quick. Just kind of balancing the difference between the input and the output there, making sure that we can get some good 1073 color on it. We'll go ahead and start the EQ. Tell you what, let's go ahead and EQ it with a snare top. That little bit of delay. That's great. All right. Let's give that a quick little listen. There we go. With the snare again. And sweet. There we go. That's got there we go. That's got the mono crush sorted. Oh gosh. There we go. All right. That's crazy. What's going on with that delay? Huh. I'm not monitoring back through here, am I? No? Okay. Yeah, there is like a little tiny bit of a delay on that. There should not be one. Let's double check this. This is one of the downsides to Pro Tools. You have to go in and manually enter every single hardware delay setting for all of your input points. There we go, that should fix that. Fixed. There we go. It automatically calculates all your round trip and delays. Now let's go ahead and get the overheads in. Those are just kind of there for some width. Let's make this a snare top group. Snare top with the SSLs on it. Let's go ahead and bring in our mono crush with the 1073. A little bit of vibe sauce on that. Overheads. Let's play with the warm audio bus compressor on that. Maybe push that snare down a little bit, get a little bit more dramatic width out of it. Warm audio bus comp. And that's up there and rocking. And solo it. That way you guys can hear what's going on. I'm going to flip this around real fast, that way you guys can see the bus comp. There we go. Sweet. I'm going to go ahead and put this on a loop real quick and tweak out this warm audio bus compressor right here. See if we can get some cool splat out of these overheads. There we go, I'm pretty cool with that. Now we've got like a good, kind of like a splat duck kind of happening, where it's taking that initial transient and just obliterating it down essentially. Sorry guys. There we go, yeah. So that's good to rock. I'll go ahead and bring the snare direct in with that. Or actually, let's start with our snare direct and we'll bring that overhead channel in. There we go. Adds some good length, a little more width. We'll go ahead and bring in our mono crush. Alright, there we go. That's not a bad spot. Alright, from there, let's treat the rooms. I'm gonna cheat on the rooms. I'm gonna keep the rooms. I'm gonna keep the rooms in the box because I'm gonna save my API and my clairphonic for the bricks. Because I tend to lean more heavy on the bricks than I lean on the rooms. Rooms are kind of there if they enforce the bricks or add a vibe that I'm not already getting from the bricks. Like I said, these are already pretty heavily processed on the way in, so we'll just distress them. There we go. So the transient just kind of goes bloop, makes a little space for the initial attack to come through. We'll blend that guy in. There we go. We'll go ahead and start treating the brick mics next. Let's get into it. So the bricks, I'm going to go ahead and hit them with the API 2500 and clairphonic combo. I've got that wired up in my rig as like a hardware single insert. So the API is hardwired straight into the back of the clairphonic. And that's like one single hardware chain, if you will. So we'll pop this over. API, clairphonic. That's rocking. We'll switch on over here to our mobile cam view. There we go. And we'll go ahead and get this, get the bricks dialed in. Let's do it. All right. Just getting the camera set up. Sorry guys for all like the motion and commotion. If I had a second camera, I'd have all this set up just in quick cues, but I don't. So there we go. We've got the we got 2500 right here and Cush clairphonic right here. So right now we'll switch out all the switches for the Cush. You're going to be in bypass, and we'll start with this. Not crushing anything right now. Here we go. Same thing, we're going to put this on a little bit of a loop. We'll start dialing this guy in. That's just a magical compressor, isn't it? Just the second that needle starts moving, it just starts pushing and pulling. I'm going for lots and lots of splat, lots of decay, trying to make this room sound like twice as big as it actually is. The feedback versus feed forward thing is always like a really tough debate, because when you're in old mode or feedback mode, it's taking, like, all the compression's happening, right? But then it's taking another separate pickoff off the output and sending that back through the compressor. So it's feeding the output back into the circuit, so it creates a little feedback loop. So you end up with like a more gentle, natural compression that has way more saturation. And then the new feed forward mode, I think, just gets straight aggressive, but it's not as saturated as the rest is. Let's check that out. So that's feed forward. Switch it to feedback. You know, I like the splattiness of the new one, or feed forward, personally. It's a tough debate, because you can work with either one. All right, now one of the key features of this compressor is the link knob. So all the way to the right, it's 100% linked on both sides. Let's check that out. And then as you turn it anti-clockwise, it starts to de-link the left and the right. So here's 50% linked. All right, let's go full independent. So we'll keep it full independent to keep the stereo image wide. So let's check out before and after. All right, we got a level match. It's got a lot of anger. It's pumping a little bit, but I don't mind it. Now, the key feature of this particular compressor that I love is this right here. It's a blend knob. So it's got a parallel blend, so this is cross blend, which means you're blending between wet and dry, or it has parallel injection blend, which means that as you roll this knob to the right, you're adding more compressed signal to the original signal. So there's a significant volume bump when you're in parallel like this. So I tend to keep it in X mode. So we'll go ahead and switch back over here. So all the way anti-clockwise means I'm listening to no compression. And as I turn it clockwise, the compression will dial back in. I really like that blend, so let's go ahead and bypass that and hear that. It's just such a magical compressor. All right, we'll go ahead and dial in the clairphonic. I like what that focus is doing right there. Presence is the winner there, always. Shimmer and silk are going to be a little bit too pretty and airy, probably. This is if you want to add like pop air, and this is if you want to just add like dog hearing air, like shit that only animals can hear. All right, here we go. Bring you guys back topside here real quick. Sweet. Oh no. There we go. So we've got all the outboards in the equation now. We've got the 2500 is on. Oh, transition back here. 2500 is on the bricks. We've got the 1073 on the mono crush. We've got a distressor on the rooms. We've got warm audio bus comp on the overheads. Snare bottom and top have SSL. Let's go ahead and check out a before and after bypass. There we go. Just opened it up, added way more life, way more sustain. Let's get us a good balance real quick. And there we go. Quick and dirty balance. So next we'll go ahead and I'll treat these snares a little farther in the box. Kind of dial them into something that I'd really think is going to be usable and workable. Let's check that out. Here we go. Let's go ahead and compress this snare. And I'm going to bypass the PEX. I'm just going to use the stem audio just to destroy it. God, those knobs are hard to turn. Go, keep on. Put this on a loop real quick. There you go. That's got the stem audio on the snare now as well. It's like a 4K clone. I'm gonna bypass the hardware here. This is with it. Without it. Kind of like it better without it. Oh yeah, with it it's definitely getting choked out. We'll just get rid of that. That was a bad idea. That never happened. That's half the fun though. Dialing in the tones. Alright. One more time. We're going to bypass the whole chain and bring it back in. There we go. Got a little bit of a resonance in that snare drum I'm going to get rid of. We don't want to completely like just neuter it, but we do got to get that under control. go. See, it wasn't the first one. It wasn't the last one. It was the one right in the middle. So I got to go searching for him. You'd never know. All right, we'll go ahead and open up the top a little bit more. Gotta be careful, it's starting to sound like tissue paper. We'll fix that. There we go. We'll go and splat out the snare bottom quite a bit. Favorite thing to do that is the SSL channel strip. And I only want the compressor on it. So no EQ, we'll bypass that. Just dynamics, don't need that. Fast attack, fast release. There we go. Simple enough. There we go. We'll do a full bypass of everything. There we go. A little bit of a top end sizzle on the left side somewhere. Let's fix that. It's happening right there. We'll widen this out a little bit. We're gonna cheat the bricks. I'm just going to take this 1K band right here, and we're just going to very gently push the side. There we go. Just kind of make it a little tiny bit wider than it actually is. Here we go. Let's check out how this is affecting some of the other hits. So we've been doing rim shots and hard hits. Flams. Listen to that snare top. Got like a lowness we've got to fix in that snare real quick to make it more universal. And it's probably that EQ bump right there that I did. Just leave it alone. It was great when you tracked it. Don't screw it up, right? I don't know what that was. We just need to get rid of that. Oh, brrr. Pow. All right. Best part, we get to print. So we'll print all of this, all this hardware down into all these different tracks, and we'll cut it on up, make a .tci file for Steven Slate, and so we'll release it for free. So if you want this snare sample, how we processed it, just hang out and I'll tell you how to get it. So we'll go ahead, and while this is printing, I'll go ahead and just kind of switch over to a Q&A, kind of a chat interactive here, and just chill while this is going. So we highlight all of this. Always duplicate your playlist. Always duplicate it in case we screw anything up. I'm just going to add a BS placeholder plugin here, and this is just a thing so you can quickly commit up to all these plugins. So highlight my selection. I'm selected here. Right click and commit up to this insert. We'll make the source tracks inactive. Here we go. You just realize I have to turn this off the way I can talk to you whenever that's going on. Edit selection, make inactive. Awesome. Check, check. So you guys can still hear me. I'll switch on over here. Bam. And then Pro Tools is going to start making lots of noise, so we'll go ahead and just mute that. That way Pro Tools can do its thing. Hear it bounce in the background. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling, letting Pro Tools bounce in the background. We're printing these, printing all these samples that we've affected with all the hardware. Yeah, just chilling. Making it happen. So yeah, printing these samples right now in the background. If anybody wants to hear it print, holler. I'll go ahead and unmute Pro Tools. So as soon as we're done printing this, we'll go ahead and chop them up, throw them in a trigger, make the TCI. We'll drop it on the website for free. So if anybody wants this snare sample, all the multi-layers, all the multi-velocities, so you'll be able to, whoops, I need to mute my own speakers. So you'll be able to load them into your own sessions, select the layers, snare top, snare bottom, overheads, rooms, bricks, whatever you want to do. If you get sent a snare that doesn't have a snare bottom, well, now you've got a snare bottom. If you want my signature brick sound, you've got my signature brick sound. If you want like a crazy experimental room sound, then you've got that. You need some mono crush that I'd probably never use, but it's there. You got a mono crush, U87 mono crush to play with. It's all source tones, all analog front end. Everything was treated as close to the possible like final album sounds as we could get it on the way in. So yeah, that's why there's like minimal EQ on this. I dug way harder into the compressors than I dug into the EQs because it was all shaped on the way in. A lot of love. So yeah. Tell you what, that API 2500 though, that thing is a magical compressor. That's one of those like just grail pieces. I'm probably gonna get buried with that dang thing, honestly. I'll probably be buried with a 2500 and a 1073. you can pry them from my cold dead hands. The one I am curious about, and I don't know if anybody out there has used it, but like I'm like in this like hunt for a new VCA compressor. This seems to be the only compressor I have. I've got 3 different compressors, and all 3 of them are all VCAs. But I've been kind of eyeballing the Wes Audio NG Bus Comp, and then I've also been eyeballing the SSL Bus Plus. I really wanted to get an Allen Smart C2, like the Smart Research, for a long time. And dude, I tell you what, in all the extensive demos that I've watched, and like all the audio examples I've heard of them, like they're just, for me, I feel like I'd just be buying another API 2500. Like it's so aggressive sounding and so grabby that I'm like, that's kind of, if I want that, I've already got it. You know, if I want grabby and aggressive, that 2500 is going to destroy everything on that option, you know? So I'm kind of like, I want like a softer, squishier bus compressor, something a little more glue, a little more squish. So I do have one space available in my desk. One space available in my desk. I can make it 2 spaces, so that's one of those. If I end up with the SSL bus compressor, it'll go in those 2 spaces. if I end up with the NG bus compressor, I'm gonna be in trouble because I'm gonna be all out of space in my desk again, and I'm gonna need another Neve box to hold a 1073. Yeah, trying to get that. And then the Audioscape one has me really curious. Like the Audioscape bus compressor, I guess the price is kind of right on that. And I've seen a lot of people who have switched to other bus compressors from that, and they're like, I don't know why I made like a lateral change. So seems to be the people that jump to the Smart C2s like it, but it's a different sound. It's not like the squishy super lovey SSL bus compressor sound. It's a little more aggressive, a little more grabby. The one I've got that's closest to it is actually, I've got that Stam Audio 4K, and I've got the Warm Audio bus compressor. So I probably honestly don't need another one. I'm just buying redundant pieces at this point. Let's check on Pro Tools real quick. See how much longer we've got on that guy. It's like we're in our last 37 seconds. Yep, last 37 seconds here in Pro Tools. Which is pretty rock and roll. I wish there was like a way to just like snap this camera smack into the middle in OBS. Like, still learning OBS a little bit. Yeah. 10 seconds left on this guy. Come on, Pro Tools. Come on. Let's go, Pro Tool. Let's go. Sick. All right, so everything has been committed. And we'll take our original tracks here. Boop, 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 doo. And we will hide these and make them, they're already inactive, so we'll just hide them. And there we go. This is the fun part. This is the work, where the quote-unquote real work kicks in. So we'll take all of these, we'll group it all. Here we go. This is where the fun stops. Just kidding, this part's just as fun. Here we go. And we'll find, see, how many hits do we have on average a piece? I'm not going to include flams. Because if you're savvy, you can make your own flams. Don't need those. I'll call this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 hits is the shortest, so we'll say 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5 by 4. Yeah, so 5 different velocities by soft, medium, hard, and rim shot. You can get a lot of realism in that. Here we go. We'll go ahead and listen to this. Let me unmute Pro Tools. There we go. We'll go ahead and listen to these and pick out our favorite 5 hits out of all this. That one's a little bit of a different pitch, so we'll ditch that one. That one gets to go bye-bye. That's 4 same pitches in a row. That's a little bit higher. But that's okay, because we need a little bit of humanity. We'll go ahead and chop this all up. I don't like this hit, so we'll get rid of this hit. There we go. That's 5 hits. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, that's 5. we've got all 5 hits there for the medium hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the soft. We'll go ahead and grab our 5 hits for the hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Good, so we got to get rid of 2. Let's be critical. That's a good hit. Maybe. I think the middle 2 got to go. Let's see. This one's a candidate too, so. That one's closer. So this one, this guy gets to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, now we got to eliminate another hit. This is tough. You. Oh, no, not you. You. You just caught me weird. I don't know why. It wasn't your lucky day. Something about that triggered my ear. Say, you're not uniform. You gotta go. You're not welcome to the club. Here we go. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's got those 5 hits. Oh, it's gonna be a tough one. We gotta pick out rim shots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, we gotta get rid of 3 of these. We gotta get rid of 3 rim shots that we don't like. Here we go. 1. That one's gotta go. We've already got 1. That's gotta go. Thank you for making that easy for us. This one's gotta go. Not up to snuff. Both of those. This one. So we have option A, option B. You go. Bye-bye. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's all the hits. That's everything. We're going to go and get rid of that. Make sure you guys can still hear me. back. Just like that. Okay, sorry guys. Pro Tools likes to lose communication for some reason with OBS. Yep, we're all back. Sweet. Awesome. So on these, you'll notice the room tracks are going to be farther back than the actual direct tracks. Don't change that, guys. It's part of the big natural delay. The time it takes for the snare to actually come off the snare drum and get to that room mic is a big part of that bigness. And I think a lot of the modern drum sound that is kind of starting to turn a lot of people off. Not like the super duper professionally done ones, but like I'm talking people that just grab a room sample and slap it on there. A lot of times they're not delaying it. So that's a trick right there. Don't make your room samples happen the exact same time as your snare direct. Otherwise it's going to sound hyper modern. Unless that's what you want. You know, like that's kind of the thing. Like that is like a big secret to the hyper modern drum sound. That's just fire your room samples at the exact same time as your snare top. All right, here we go. We're going to do a quick little thing. We're going to batch fade. I'm not going to fade out, but I am going to add little 40 millisecond outs to every single one of these. I have to add them. Every single one's got a little fade out. Let's make it longer. We'll make it 250 millisecond fade outs. Switch this bad mama over to object. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. I messed up. It's alright, we can undo it. There we go, we got our fades back. Click the wrong button. We'll set this to like 10,000. Of course, the fades are going to jack this all up, right? You can't do this with it. There it goes. Can't do it with a fade on it. Kind of cut all these down. So we're just going to trim all these down so they're roughly the same length. Tell you what, there's a quick way to do that. This is an Andrew Wade trick. You get rid of all the fades. You put a protective fade in on it. We'll call it 20 milliseconds. So that way, whenever I do this, I won't accidentally delete any of these regions. Object will select all of the objects, everything. And we'll just shrink it all. Shrink it, shrink it, shrink it. Until there's nothing left. And we'll cut this in half and we'll call it, whenever that stops, 2,000. We'll keep it going. That way all I'm left with is these little tiny blips. Now everything is 20 milliseconds. Uniform. It's all uniform 20 milliseconds. So now I can extend all these. And whenever I extend them to, they will all be the same. Now we can go ahead and delete the fade ins. And then we will reestablish our fade outs. Now that everything is perfectly uniform length, boom, 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 reestablish our fade outs. There we go. Everything is perfectly identical. All right, next little trick. Just pull up some Q1 plugin. Mono mode, multi-input mode, individual files, entire clip by clip. Render. Boom. What that does is that's going to relabel all of these. So B, EQB 1.1, 2.1, 3.1, and it groups the labeling. So now I know every single one of these, whenever I look at the snare top, whatever, 01-01 is all going to go together as a single snare layer. So on and so forth all the way up. 0404 is going to be a single snare layer. And we'll just go through and do this entire thing. Hit it. There we go. So everything is good to go. And we're ready to export them all and import them into Steven Slate. So it is a 4 velocity, 1, 2, 3, 4, by how many layers? 5 layers. So 4 velocities deep, 5 layers wide. So here's what we're going to prep this real quick so we don't forget this. Trigger instrument editor. And this will be 1, 2, 3. So this will be 4 deep by 5 round robins wide. And we'll just go ahead and kick on round robin. So that's prepped and ready to go. So now we'll take all these snare hits and we'll export them all as WAV files in our native bit depth and sample rate. So let's call this wave exports, or not wave, wave derp. Sweet, we're done with Pro Tools. We'll go ahead and exit out of that.